A question is asked, what is wrong with butane? I do try to address this matter a lot. Let me explain once more to the people of Zambia. Some are asking to say, Mushete tuwa sala mofe fimo muri butane. Kwa tuwa ku adopt fimo, elo tuwa kana fimbi. Ain. Fimbi be pushoko watkanshi mushete tituwa sala mo. Ain. Butane ya bakona kalimo boa. Ifi anafia bene. Ifi anafia bene no boa. Fimonika kwa tifimo fina. Ain. Ero muntu amiswira uboa, amiswira nefi anafia bene, amiletera atilieni. Kutimuari ya imwe. You can't. The reason why you would refuse is because uboa chachi ne mobuli. Lero na abafisa nkanyamo nefi anafia bene. Poison. Nango muntu wakuletera poison ati yo hii poison alewema umenua nuati abika mo poison. Ero wakweba tawa kutuwa yafu miyamo poison. Ero wanua mo tea. Does that make sense? That's exactly what is happening with butane. Okay? Butane has some very innocent, unnecessary changes, like changing the name of the Solicitor General from the name Solicitor General to Deputy Attorney General. Wow, that's a useless change, right? That change has no impact on the constitutional integrity of Zambia. Whether you call the Solicitor General, Assistant Attorney General, it's neither here nor there, okay? That's what I call a useless change. The most changes in butane that are going to change and make the ruling party to rule forever are the following. One, what butane is proposing to do is to change how Zambians vote for their parliament. That is the biggest change. That is the biggest deal. How Zambia elects its MPs. In other words, with butane, the institution that is at stake is the institution of parliament, the legislature. That is the body that is under a lot of confusion in butane. What will happen if butane were passed and it became law? Parliament will not be protected by the constitution. Parliament will just be making its own rules that will be regulating how MPs are elected and their qualifications by itself. Parliament is not going to be subject to the constitution. It will be subject to itself. Which means the people that have the ruling party today can indefinitely make rules that perpetuate themselves. Because under butane, the power and responsibilities of parliament are going to be taken off the constitution, and they're going to be held by parliament, who at the current time is the ruling Patriotic Front. That is the problem. Butane proposes to relegate the constitutional protection that parliament enjoys and relegate it to an ordinary statute of parliament. An ordinary statute of parliament requires simple majority of the parliamentary quorum, meaning at any given time, is it 25 MPs? 25 MPs can sit and change the law that would regulate parliament itself. Currently, 25 MPs can't. It has to be 2/3 of all members of parliament, 112 of them together, coming up with a consensus to change the law that regulates the constitution. That is what the constitution currently says. If butane passes, that power is going to be taken away from the constitution and it's going to be put in the hand of the ruling party. That is the concern that we have with butane. Those are the real issues. That is what we are willing to debate. But Nagachinda and his group of fellow liars and thieves, okay, that's exactly what they are. They don't want to debate that. They don't want to talk about the impact that butane has on parliament. They want us to be concentrating on useless changes, such as changing the name of the Solicitor General to Deputy Attorney General. That change does nothing to the constitutional integrity of the Republic of Zambia. Whether you change the name of the Solicitor General is a useless change. But when you begin proposing that the power of parliament is going to be relegated to an ordinary statute of parliament, then you are changing the institution of government. The other thing is, Nagachinda is lying that Bill 10 is going to empower women, the youths, and the disabled. With due respect to all the disabled in our country, patriots of our great nation, that is a lie. There is nowhere in Bill 10 where it says that it's going to strengthen the disabled, the youth, or the women. We have Bill 10. It's in fact on the website of Parliament. It's on my website. Go and read it. There is nowhere where it says women. There is nowhere where it says youth. Nowhere. Okay? What Bill 10 does is this, and this is a very subtle change. What Bill 10 is proposing is that there's going to be what Bill 10 is calling mixed member electoral system. And Bill 10 goes silent. Okay? It says Zambia is going to change how they elect their MPs, and MPs are going to be elected through what Bill 10 is saying is the mixed member electoral system. Full stop. The mixed member electoral system is undefined in Bill 10. The mixed member electoral system, therefore, is open to how the majority in parliament is going to define it as. Okay? So, it is not Bill 10 defining mixed member electoral system, no. It will be the Patriotic Front that are going to define what this mixed member electoral system. Now, how can you amend a constitution instead of putting everything openly so that everybody sees? How can you entrust one party with the responsibility to define what mixed member electoral system is? Now, Nagachinda is saying that mixed member electoral system means that it is women. But that's not what Bill 10 is saying. Okay? In addition to that, the honorable member of MP of Serenje, this is what he said on the floor of the House before the House adjourned Sinedai. This is what the honorable member of Serenje, an MP on the floor of the House, he said, mixed member electoral system means bringing soldiers into parliament. If you can search the Hansard and the debates, you're going to see it. That's what he said. Just like it is done in Uganda. Which means, while Nagachinda is saying that mixed member electoral system means bringing in the disabled and the youth and the women, another member of parliament, Serenje MP, is saying that mixed member electoral system actually means bringing in soldiers to become members of parliament. This is the confusion that Bill 10 is creating. Okay? And the reason why all these changes are there is because it is the Patriotic Front and President Lungu who wanted to bring in changes into our constitution that are going to perpetuate the Patriotic Front to rule forever. The third thing, delimitation. Nagachinda is lying that Bill 10 is tied to the delimitation exercise. Now, let me submit to you, my fellow citizens, that in fact, if Bill 10 passes, it is going to undermine the delimitation exercise, the independence of delimitation. Here is the reason. Today, for Zambia to create new constituencies, I want you to follow me very, very closely, Zambians. Today, in our current constitution, if Zambia were to have new constituencies, a constitutional amendment is necessary. That is our current law. Okay? So, if you want to create a new constituency, let's say in Milenge, okay, I come from Milenge. If you wanted to create a new constituency in Milenge, and let's say to divide in Milenge in two, Milenge East and Milenge West, you need to amend the constitution of Zambia. Okay? Which means the delimitation exercise is subject to constitutional review, to the procedures that are required to amend the constitution. That is what it means. Okay? When you are adding a constituency. And so you have then to seek consensus with all the parties you must bring that constitutional change openly so that people freely discuss it. That's what it means. If Bill 10 became law, the delimitation exercise can be thrown away. Okay? The reason is because if Bill 10 became law, introducing new constituencies in Zambia will not require a constitutional process. It will only require simple majority of the party in power. Which means, okay, the new constituencies that the ECZ has currently set up, currently the new constituencies, we understand they are about 230. If Bill 10 passes, that power will no longer be a constitutional power, it will be an ordinary statute. And by an ordinary statute, the Patriotic Front can decide to ignore all the new constituencies in the Zambezi areas and work on new constituencies in the areas that they believe they have more support. And once they do that, then they can double their influence at the next election. So then what is this about? It is about the Patriotic Front perpetuating itself in power. That is what this is all about. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The reason why you want Bill 10 to pass is because Bill 10 is going to give power to the current parliament to pass a simple statute that is going to affect which constituencies are going to be, which new constituencies are going to be part of Zambia, part of parliament. So, after Bill 10 passes, if Bill 10 passes, this is what it will do. It will make the Patriotic Front to have the power to decide new constituencies. Secondly, if Bill 10 passes, it will give the Patriotic Front the power to decide the extra MPs. How you elect them, how they are appointed, and how they come to parliament. All this thing of saying that it will be a mixed member proportional representative is all theory at the moment. But if Bill 10 passes, it will be the Patriotic Front party that will be deciding the rules that are going to govern new constituencies and the extra MPs that are going to come through the mixed member electoral system. That is the problem we have with Bill 10. Okay, those are the bigger issues that we need to be debating about Bill 10. Okay, not these little things of changing the names of the Solicitor General. Okay, so now that is the issue. So we challenge members of parliament, and we are going to be talking about it between now and June the 9th. Which people are you serving? Okay, Nagachinda is always talking about the fact that MPs serve the interests of the people of Zambia. Bill 10 was never enacted with the people